Hello everyone and welcome to episode 15 of Open Discourse. Today we doing things kind of different. We've got Man The Helm with us, 3 of the members. Going to interview them, talk about what they're doing. Road to Pointfest is their current project, current task, and talk about their music. So if you guys just want to introduce yourself, we'll get started.
Hi, I'm Caleb. I play guitar, sorta.
What's up? I'm Andrew. I sing a little bit.
I'm Spencer and I play bass. Good.
Perfectly, he says. Yeah.
So talk about Road to Pointfest. Where you guys at now?
So what's funny is we did Road to Pointfest last year, and we had to drop out because I had to graduate college.
Andrew had to walk.
Yeah, which ended up being
People care
a
about
major
that.
mistake. But so we played one round, and I think we fucking slaughtered it.
Yeah, we moved on. We moved on.
Two?
We won that round.
We did.
No, I said we played one round.
Yeah, and we won that round.
Yeah.
That round.
Yes.
But that was it.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
College.
Right. No. This year.
I thought you were talking about last year.
No, I
just
that
brought.
I'm already confused.
Well,
What's
fucker.
happening?
So we played a round last year. We won. We moved on. But then Dickhead had to walk for college, and we had to drop out. So
this year
we did it again.
Okay.
we played a round. We won. We moved on.
And Andrew didn't go to college this time.
Right, now I'm out of college, and now we're playing on March 16th in the finals to actually play for Pointfest in May.
So how many bands are left in the competition?
So they do it kind of differently. They have like different like series and different rounds of each series. But in this round, I think there are 7 bands on the bill. 7 or 8.
7. I think there's 7.
7. Yeah.
So if after this round, is that it? You made it?
If we win this round, or at least place in this round, I guess, like we'll play Pointfest.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll play Pointfest, but then there's another.
There's a grand final.
There's a grand finals, and that'll decide if we play on like a big main stage or if we play just the Pops
local stage.
Which would still be dope because that's well over the exposure we've had at the show before. So
as long as we move on this next round, like
it's a win for the band in your guys'.
Yeah, we're completely fine with that, and the grand finals would just kind of be,
bonus.
A party.
Yeah, right.
That'd be sick.
So that's it. Like as long as we win, like the next show, as long as it's big, and we move on, we're content with it.
And without like being too forward, I have no doubt in my mind that we'll move on, and that's not trashing any other bands because we do have a really really stacked lineup and it's very competitive.
It's a good lineup.
I'm confident in our ability to perform and bring in a good crowd.
I feel like you have to have some confidence though.
Oh yeah. Dude, in my mind, we're already playing Pointfest. Like that's literally how I feel. That's how I feel going in, and I think that's going to set us up for a win.
Do you ever feel like that's kind of surreal, just saying that you're going to be playing Pointfest? Like, I mean, you guys haven't been together for too long now. Maybe been a year, or have you been together as a band?
It's
really
going on 3.
Oh, okay.
Active as a band is like a year and some change.
Oh, yeah, because the band kind of got started, but then we didn't do shit with it. Like we built the members and kind of found everybody, and then we didn't talk for months. And when we finally got together, it sucked, and none of us were happy with the outcome. Yeah, like we played a couple songs, and we was like, "Fuck, this is bad."
It was
like,
pretty much one.
It was
really shitty song.
One really shitty song, but
I hate that you say that. That's like I was so. We wrote the song, and it's gonna happen on our next EP. It's called Hometown, and it's dope. And it was good the first time we played it, and then we literally couldn't get it right again. And Spencer just trashes it every time we bring it up, and it makes me sad. Go on.
Was it like a sound development, like just figuring out? Like,
it was
what you
a
guys
lot of that.
Wanted
Like
to sound like.
We went into it thinking like, oh, we're gonna be this pop punk band, like kind of base everything off of Day to Remember or 4 Years Strong or whatever. And we played this song that fit that sound, and it sounded like shit.
Well, it just didn't flow.
Yeah, it didn't fit enough people's
horrible.
style, like everybody in the band at the time.
Was it more like you were like trying to sound a certain way as opposed to like finding your own sound?
Yeah, like we were just forcing it.
Right.
That was definitely part of it. And I think another part of it too was that Spencer came from like an alternative like hard rock band, Caleb just came out of like a metalcore band. I was never in a real band. I was in a cover band in college. And then Clark came from that band that Spencer did. Greg came from a very like rocky, like hard rock sort of band too. So our genres are all. It's weird. I want to look at you, but I can't because like there we go. Thanks, Spencer.
I feel like it really came down to all our ages showed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Like everyone that was older in the band was in
us.
like hard rock bands, and then like I was in a metal band, and Andrew was really into fucking.
I like Fall Out Boy, so
yeah.
we just like wanted to fucking.
He came out of diapers in here. You know?
Right. I was like
we didn't know what to do, and so
God.
we were trying to like force this sound, and it didn't work. And then we just we jammed Crows. Like I had some parts. I brought them to practice, we ran through it, and then we just kind of jammed it out, and it sounded fucking great. And so then we just kind of went with that approach. Like anything that I had written prior, we didn't try to take too seriously. We just kind of, here's a part, fuck with it, see what happens. And we made it our own shit.
So how much of that is like you taking music and putting lyrics to it, or taking lyrics and putting music to it? Like which way do we go with that?
All of it.
It's kind of
like,
both ways,
yeah,
like a
but
mashup?
Mainly the former, because literally everything that's written, Caleb and or Greg, and sometimes like, now Kevin, and sometimes even Spencer, like would literally have written a part and said, hey, this is what I have. And I was like, oh, I have like 160 pages of lyrics on my phone. I could probably find something to fit with that.
This kid's just flipping through his shit. Like, we're playing. He's
Literally
like, play that.
Just
until
piecing together.
I come up with something. So, like, you just play it on repeat, and he's just, like, fucking doing one of these. And, like, I find something, man. I play this, like, fucking 50 times.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want?
Yeah, seriously. Like, we literally did it tonight, but if I hear something that I think I can put lyrics to, I'll be like, hey, can you guys play that over and over and over again until I can actually see where the shit like fits. I mean, there are some things that I think we've like collectively written, but most of it are like finished pieces are that just pieces. But
you're so good at words.
Thanks.
So back to the sound. Do you guys like? If someone asks you like, what genre of music do you play? Like, what's your answer? Now that you're established, or do you just kind of?
No fucking
I say
idea.
like heavy pop punk
Yeah.
rock.
All of them. Just anything that you like to listen to. That's it.
Well, it's
what we do.
It's really what the like. That's what's really cool about this like band is that we. You just told me I was good with words, and I can't. We literally just play whatever sounds cool. Like if we like it, we're like, fuck it, let's write it, and then we write it, and we're like, that sounds really cool. Like the intro to the EP.
My beard keeps sticking to this fucking thing. It's weird.
Oh my
Move
god.
that away.
Like the intro to the EP is very pop punk. So are like the next two songs, and then I don't know where you have this like alternative, like heavier rock song, and then you have this like southern like metalcore type riff with 6 Feet Under, and then Crows is something that you would hear on the Point. It's just we're all over the place, and I actually kind of really like that.
I was gonna say, I feel like it's gonna increase your audience because there's so many people that you can appease to. But at the same time, like I've been listening to the album, and I think it sounds cohesive. Like I don't feel like I've like switched artists or anything like that.
Right.
You guys do a good job of keeping it your sound.
Well, thank you.
No problem.
That was totally on purpose.
Yeah, we meant to do that shit. What's weird about that too is like I have that same thought, and I err more on that than I do what I'm about to say. But I also think that there are some like I've had a few people say like, "Hey, I like that you guys are all over the place, but don't you think you could hit a more target market if you actually nailed down to one genre?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess, but like we all like different shit, you know. I mean, on the way to practice, I would listen to like literally like Panic at the Disco, a metalcore song." Like fucking pop music, like, and he shows me a bunch of different shit. Like Spencer, you listen to like literally everything.
He's a legend.
Yeah, that's pretty much what.
Yeah.
That's pretty much
Metal
what
or
6 Feet Under is. But
Weird country or
Yeah, Wheeler, dude.
just anything.
Yeah.
All Wheeler, all day.
Wheeler's the man.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, fire away.
I don't know what question we just answered, but that's that's the answer.
One thing I wanted to ask you, Drew, are you the youngest member of the band?
I am.
You are.
Yeah.
You're kind of like learning your like music taste from the older members of your band, like what they like. You're kind of getting into, or
I would say so.
Yeah.
It's so funny because like Spencer and Greg are like ancient. Kevin and Caleb are like a little bit younger, but they're still pretty fucking old.
Fuck you.
Like I'm pushing 24, and to them that's basically 12, which is funny, but also it is cool because I do get to learn a lot more about music and like playing with them, and like they already are able to develop stage chemistry very well and very easily, very quickly. Whereas with me, I was like pretty locked up until like our first couple shows started rolling. But I'm definitely I think I'm at an advantage because I get to learn so much from the guys who've done it before. You know.
He's miles ahead of where he was when we started.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like
Yep.
as a band and like as a total, we've all done that.
Oh, definitely. There's
Like
been
if you look at our
so
first
much
show
growth.
and then you come to this next one on March 16th,
It's Saturday night. It's the day before St. Pat's. We're all gonna be drinking beer and wearing green.
Stone Cold
so
Day.
smashing
Stone Cold
beers
Day.
against
Stone
our
Cold
faces.
Day. Yeah.
We're playing a new song too.
But if you, no, we're not.
No, an old song.
But maybe, yeah.
A new old song? An old new song?
It's an older
Dude,
one.
actually, the song's like super old, but
It's literally that's as old as you guys. That's fucking.
but if you look at like any kind of footage from our first show and then you come see us on March 16th, like totally fucking different. It's not even remotely close to the same thing.
Night and day.
Yeah, Caleb moves. He like
Yeah, like our first show,
Back and
dude, I
forth.
was so nervous because I hadn't been on a stage in like 2 years. And we got up there, and I talked all this shit. Like, dude, I move around so much. It's going to be so fun. And then we started playing, and I like
Stone.
made eye contact with like
Stone.
one person. I was like, and I
foot on the
panicked.
monitor.
Oh, the best part about that
Yeah.
too was like he had to blow sweat off of his face, and there's this girl in the front of the crowd.
I hit her right in the
just
fucking
rocking
mouth.
out, and so he like puts his leg up, does the like rock band thing, puts his leg up on the monitor, and he's like rocking out, blows sweat off his face, and like literally just like covered this girl's face with sweat.
Was she into it? I mean, I don't
She
know.
just looked at me, and we made eye contact. And
That's
I was
the best
like,
part.
She just goes,
I'm
call me.
sorry. But she was like, it's okay. Like, it's not. It was bad.
Our first crowd was really, really cool because we definitely didn't do well at all. And our
But
first
they were
crowd
all
was
into
like,
it.
You guys fucking rock. I can't believe it's your first show. And you're like, really? Like, I can. That was terrible.
Like, you guys are taking over. Like, no, we're not.
I think though for our first show, I thought we played really good for it being our first like live.
Yeah.
And for how little, like, experience we had together.
Well,
You
especially
had,
you.
yeah. How little experience you had.
That's true. You guys are
just kidding.
perfect.
I'm
But
just kidding.
No, you're
It's
right.
okay.
No, I'm sorry.
So you guys can like practice a lot, but does it really take being on stage and playing like live
It
to
does.
really like
I feel
grow
like it
as a
does.
band and develop?
Well, it's completely different. Like at practice, you can move it. Some bands I know play at practice like they would a live show, like move around and jump around. But we move around a little bit, but it's not like anything like at a show.
It's more like we're trying at practice to like get a feel for the song.
Yeah.
And then when you get on stage, you just fucking go for it.
And you
See
gotta
what
learn
happens.
too, like if you're jumping around or moving around, you gotta kind of know what everyone else is doing too.
Spencer will fuck you up if
Yeah.
you get in his way.
on the last show
It's not good.
at Pops, Spencer literally almost took the neck of his bass and like rammed it into my forehead. And then he also, what was funny was I like twirled my mic, and the mic caught his finger as he was plucking bass, and I was like, oh fuck, one of us or probably both of us are going down very quickly. And we locked eyes, and he was like, and like just like stopped playing, and like I was like, okay, thank God.
Yeah.
Spencer likes to get in my way too, because we always share the side of the stage, like no matter where we go. Because sometimes we set up on stage right or stage left or whatever, but it's always me and him. And when we play, I do this thing where I always put my left foot up on a monitor. If you get on any of my social media shit, like that's the pose I'm always in. It's my comfort zone.
Right.
But like I went to go up for the monitor thing, and he stepped right the fuck in front of me, and was just like, "Fuck you."
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I deal with.
Have you guys ever like legitimately gotten into it on stage?
No, never,
Huh?
not even one time. No,
Not like not out of anger, just
no.
a lot of.
There it
That's
is, right
it.
there. There's
That's
the
the
picture.
That's
There it
the
is.
move.
There's the
Yeah.
pose.
Every time.
Yeah, we fuck with each other a lot, but
We
it's
do.
never like anger. It's always just us
No,
having
no.
a good time.
No, we never get mad at each other.
I think my favorite one was at the old rock house when we all got like accidentally like pretty drunk.
We got way drunk.
Well, like the venue, so it was city.
Sponsored Yeah, it was sponsored by Citywide.
Yeah, it was like the 4 like coolest local bands. Which first of all, that was a cool thing to be part of in the first place. But since Citywide sponsored it, they just gave us a shitload of beer for free. And
they
shout out
fed us,
Citywide. And shameless plug. So they were like, all right, you guys are going to go on it this time. We're like, great. And then they came down and they're like, hey, actually, we're pushing it back an hour. And we're like, cool. So we like kind of lost track of time and didn't lose. And we also lost track of, drinking a lot.
We were drinking.
Oh, yeah. And then
We were like way drinking.
and they were like, hey, you guys ready to go on? And I was like, oh,
No.
fuck, I've never been drunk for a show. Yeah, let's do it. And like, that was easily the one where like we were all like connecting and having good chemistry because we're like, fuck it, we don't care. Like, we were just drunk. But
Who's the best drinker in the band?
Caleb.
Oh, fuck.
Caleb wins.
Kevin actually
It was
goes.
unanimous.
I think Kevin goes toe to toe. He usually goes beer for
Dude,
beer with
it's
you.
Greg, man. It's
yeah.
definitely Greg.
Yeah.
It's not me.
Well, he's the best soda drinker.
Greg can have like, he can be in a room with a beer and he's just like, fuck no.
Greg will smell a beer and give me his keys.
That's better than the alternative, I guess.
But so when we played
Sorry,
all Rock
Greg.
House, like, that was before Kevin was in the band. It was our last show with Clark. And so we're in the middle playing 6 Feet Under. And Kevin's in the crowd and he just looks at me with a beer and he just holds it up. And he's like, come on, do it. I'm like, I'm not fucking drinking that. He's like, you have to. Just do it. I'm like, I'm not fucking doing it. So I did it. And like, so I'm squatted down, like playing this song.
Halfway bent over.
Yeah, and he's just pouring beer down my throat. And somebody got a picture of it, and
Yeah.
it was like, it's the coolest fucking picture.
That's epic. That's awesome.
It was really fucking cool. But,
Yeah, the coolest picture.
I don't know,
I've
it was
seen.
like the most frat boy fucking picture we've ever had, but it was great.
Which is probably I got such a hard dick about it. 'Cause I was like, dude, we did that in college. I missed that. That was so cool.
That's saying a lot with Andrew in the band.
Yeah, it was a good show.
I feel like you were ready. Were you not?
No, I wasn't going to.
Oh my gosh! I thought you were like waiting on me to
No.
shut up.
You're good.
One thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was the. Oh shit! Hold on.
You might.
Look at the list.
6 Feet Under. For whatever reason, I don't know, caught my attention, and the guitar in there was sick. I don't know. I was really into that song. I just thought it was really good. As far as like the guitar for that, did you develop? Was that something you developed? Or?
Yeah, so before the band got started, it was like a song idea that I had. And it was really because I was listening to a lot of the new Atreyu album and Wilson, which I don't know if anybody listens to Wilson.
Full blast fuckery.
Full Blast
man.
Fuckery, yeah, it was that album. And,
I have to now.
like, you haven't heard that shit?
No.
You just
Oh,
listen to that
fuck.
first one and don't
Yeah.
listen to anything after that.
Yeah, My Life, My Grave, it's the jam.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was listening to a lot of that, and I'm like, dude, I really like this fucking sound. Like, I want to do something with this. And I didn't know what to do with it. So I sat on it for a long time. And then the band started going, and that's the one that I brought up to Andrew. Like, dude, I was in this band, which he knew all about. And the shit didn't go well. Like, we were a band for, 2 years, 3 years. And it hit a point where, like, creatively, we just weren't clicking anymore. And I was just done.
Just being really nice. They kind of dicked him.
They dicked me, yeah. So I ended up quitting. But so when this band got started, I was like, dude, I want to write a song about this. And just like, I wanted to be aggressive and just like, fuck these guys. And that's what we came up with 6 Feet Under.
I love the song.
It's like the intro that you like really.
It was the
really
the intro and the outro both were just really hard.
Yeah.
The intro, that was actually a separate song that Caleb and I were writing before all that happened.
Yeah.
And then he's like, hey, let's just put that at the front of 6
Yeah,
Feet
it wasn't
Under.
supposed to go there. And then it, like, I was going to use it as a way to, like, ease into that song when we played live. But then we got in the studio and it just, like, worked.
Yeah. You played
So-
you played that, and Matt, the producer, was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, that's just like a little intro thing. He's like, no, that's part of the song. We're like, oh,
Right.
okay,
Like,
dude,
why
you're
the
the master.
fuck aren't you
know,
doing
so-
that song instead of, like, the other two stupid songs
Yeah,
you're doing
we just
right now?
we just finished recording like 2 of the lighter like pop punk songs, and then he played that, and Matt's like, dude, I want to scrap all of what we did, and you're just playing that.
It kind of caught me off guard listening through the album. Like you're kind of going one way and then you get hit with that, and I was like, oh damn, like this is like
Yeah.
a whole different thing, But
Yeah.
it sounded really good.
Can we play a bit of it?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, sure. Not to skip over what he said. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I do appreciate that.
Is that like super loud?
That was good.
No, I didn't. How does it feel listening to your own music?
I do it all the fucking time,
Yeah.
dude.
That's all I listen to.
I think it's weird.
It is weird. It's like
Vain,
super.
vain.
Do you ever like analyze it and pick it apart and go, I wish I could have done this little section just a little bit differently?
I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Honestly, every song. I don't know about you, but I do.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, Spencer is like, I don't get it. Like, Spencer can look at what Caleb's playing, look at what Greg's playing, and be like,
I'm gonna do this.
okay, and he'll
it's
just play it,
fucking
and it
perfect.
works every time. Every time. And it pisses me off because I have to work on my shit. This guy doesn't.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I just play something real simple shit that I feel like it's gonna fit.
It always fits.
Thanks.
Like a dick in a whale's ass.
You say whales?
Oh yeah. You never heard that?
No, I like that a lot though. I can take it away.
A dick in a whale's ass. It always fits. It's good shit.
That's pretty funny.
That's a
do like
Chris
that.
Regal quote.
Oh
If
god.
anybody's interested, you should check into
Oh,
that.
Dad.
Dad. Yeah.
So for me, Drew, whenever you guys were like first, I guess, working on these songs, working on this album, you kind of showed me just like a little snippet of Crows. Like all I got to hear was that guitar riff, and I was like, I want to hear the rest of the song, and I couldn't, unfortunately. So talk to me about the Crows. What was like the inspiration for that? What was the driving force behind that song?
Well, Caleb had the riff that he was talking about for a long time, and so like, I'll give you the short long of it. Short being my dick. Short being
What was that?
short. Nothing. Don't worry about
Bullfrog?
it. Stop. Yeah. So you hear that duck?
The creaky board in here.
Hear that frog out there? He had that riff, and we literally jammed it, and it like kind of wasn't good. And then we were like, all right, let's actually focus on this. And our first legitimate practice, we actually wrote that song in 2 hours. Now the long part of that story, like lyrically speaking, is a lot of that came from a night that Caleb and I, when he used to live in Union at his old townhouse, we got way too drunk, went over to someone else's house, literally crashed their party.
We don't get too drunk.
Wait a
That doesn't happen. No.
What?
Whenever you were living on... Were you my neighbor at the time? Was that when we
Probably.
were neighbors?
We might have been.
We were right on the corner?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that my party you crashed?
401.
No, well,
No.
No, right there, right next to you. Was that not the party?
It was not the
Oh,
party.
okay. I was like, dang, I lived like right
Drew,
next to
was I
Caleb at one
present?
point.
I was like, wait, hold on.
Where'd you live at?
Yeah, Nick.
Was I there?
Nick was actually. That's so funny. Oh my god. Nick was actually there for that.
Yeah. I do remember that. Yeah. We were at.
You were there?
No,
No,
I
it wasn't
for a
that.
second,
No,
I was
it's like,
just
oh
we
my
threw
God.
parties in this apartment. I'm sorry, I'm yelling into this. I used to live
understood.
right next to him, so I didn't know if it was a party.
Yeah,
that we
no,
threw.
it was not that one. I know exactly. I'll tell you about it later.
That's crazy
But
that I was there
it's-
and I don't know what you're about to say was the inspiration.
Oh,
He
dude.
was there.
I know. He just said that. I
It
like,
was you. Holy shit. You walked home.
Yeah, me and
Yeah.
Drew walked home.
We
Fun.
Yeah. But anyway, and that was across town too. Like I was really, really drunk. I don't really think Nick was, and I was like, "Hey, let's we should go home." He's like, "You probably shouldn't drive,"
There it
and I was
is.
like, "Oh,
Look at
I'm good, man."
Spencer
He's
being
like, "Nah, let's
dad.
just walk," and I was like, "Okay." So we like literally walked like 10 miles across town, but at like 3 in the morning. But no,
good
so
time.
like,
So
it
we
was
got
great.
moderately drunk at a party, which is acceptable. And
wasn't acceptable.
shut the fuck up. So
Terrible.
we're at this party, and like we brought our own beer and stuff, but like I was there on a mission. Like this kid was a fucking prick to me like a month before that. I'm like, I'm gonna fuck this kid up.
Oh, it wasn't. It was a totally separate kid too. That's the
yeah,
craziest
he
thing.
wasn't even
Not
there.
even the kid that I wrote the fucking thing
No,
about.
no.
Like a different kid.
But he wasn't there. He wasn't there at all. And so I went to this party. I'm like, fuck these motherfuckers. Like, I'm gonna
He
find
was
this
already
dude.
in a mood to mess some stuff up.
Yeah,
so like,
I was drunk when I got there, moderately.
Surprise, surprise.
And
Right.
shut the
Exactly.
fuck
Like,
up. It was right next to my house. I could walk home. It was fine. It's completely legal.
yeah,
Anyway,
you left your house to go drink at someone else's party. Like what?
Makes
so
sense.
And we brought our own beer. Like, dude, like,
yeah, we walked fucking half a mile with a fucking cooler full of beer.
terrible.
So we get there and I'm like, I'm gonna find this dude and like fuck him. And everybody got in my way. I was just fucking like shoulder checking, like fuck you.
Wait a minute. You just said I'm gonna find this dude and I'm gonna fuck him.
He did say that.
Up.
I would have too.
If he would
I'd have fucked him.
there.
with my dick.
I'm gonna have sex with this kid.
Yeah. And he's not gonna like it.
It's non-consensual. But no, like that's so wild. I totally forgot that it wasn't even the same kid.
Yeah.
But so that wasn't there, and then my girlfriend's, now my current girlfriend's ex was there, who I just don't like. I think he's a shithead. And Caleb was drunk enough that I could talk him into the fact that he was more of a shithead than he probably is.
His name's Brian.
Yeah, that whole call him Brian.
Name drop.
Yeah. And then
It's not Brian.
Yeah, it's an alias. But anyway, so we were all really drunk, and he was, or moderately, excuse me, and
Appropriately.
yeah, respectively drunk. And he was like,
Just
"Hey man,"
enough.
he was literally pushing me around, and he was like, "Hey, we should go talk outside." And I was like, "No, I don't want to talk to you." He's like, "Nah, man, we'll just go talk outside." I'm like, "No, I know what you want to talk about, and I don't want to hear it." He's like, "No, let's go." And he like starts pushing me, and I was like,
And he goes, crash the party.
"Yeah, fuck me
Fuck
around."
me
And I was
around.
like, "Caleb, this guy's fucking me around." He's like, "Dude, it's me, you, and like Nick, maybe, versus 30 people. Like, I'll go down swinging, but I'm telling you, we're going down." And I was like, "Ah."
We're gonna get fucked up.
Was that
Yeah.
a Fall Out Boy reference?
It was, because I like that, because
Okay.
call back to what I said earlier. But then Kristen, oddly enough, was the sober one, and she was like, "Hey, we need to go home because you're not fighting this part."
Yeah, that's my sister.
Dude, I love how that for some reason that song just kind of like clicked with me.
She's gonna kick my ass for
And-
that.
You're welcome.
It was one of like my favorites that I had first heard on the album. In a weird way, I was there for it. Like,
Yeah, that's so.
that's
I
that's
totally
awesome.
like forgot that you were part of like how that actually came to be.
So Crows came after this event, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Crash the
Yeah.
party, fuck me around.
Yeah.
That's a lyric from the song.
Yeah, and then I think the rest of it was just kind of like follow-up inspiration, like things seem so different lately. Wrap Me Up, Put Me in the Ground is like a reference to being dead, but it's not like it's bad. It's like, hey, Rap, I'm cool with what's going on. Like if I died today, it'd be cool, you know, because like got a date with some crows. Like I'm out of here. Whatever's going on right now is cool with me, you know.
I was gonna ask you about that lyric because one thing that I think is cool about music is so you guys, you know, as writers might have like this is what this means. Like you guys know that that's the meaning for this particular lyric. The audience doesn't always like have that inside perspective, or it might be something that's so figuratively written that they can't. That's not straightforward. Like your boyfriend got cheated on you, and you're gonna go like I don't know, throw beer cans at their like some lyrics like that.
Right.
But like the listener can still pull their own meaning
Yeah.
and attach it, so that's cool. So I've got a date with some crows. What does that mean exactly for you?
So, dude, what's funny is honestly I just did that because it sounded cool. Me and my brother were having a conversation on a drive home one day. I didn't know he was intoxicated, and so like I said something.
Were you
and
driving
then-
or was he driving?
I was driving.
Okay.
Not this time. I wasn't drunk.
Actually, they got an Uber. Nobody was driving.
And we were just talking about something, and you know, people might make that joke like, oh, if someone says something cool that would happen, like, man, I could die today if that happened. You know, like people have said that, or I've heard it. Maybe I'm just weird, but so he said something, to which I replied something like that, and I was like, yeah, dude, wrap me up, put me in the ground, and then it was like silent, and he's like, I got a date with some crows, baby, and I was like, that's dope. Can I use that? And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, I want to put that in the song. He's like, yeah, just pay me. And I was like, dope. I haven't paid him yet.
When I make money, I'll pay you.
Yeah, exactly. Who's paying me?
That's awesome. That's something I was going to bring up too. I feel like this kind of the theme, or kind of a theme that intertwines throughout all the songs on this album, is like you guys starting off as a band, shaping yourself, and see, because I was thinking I've got a date with some crows as to like you mentioned paycheck to paycheck just to pay a show.
Yeah.
So you guys have like. You guys are, you know, you're having success and you're moving forward, but you're not at a point where it's able to. Maybe it can go back into it a little bit, but it's not providing for you guys in a way that I'm sure you guys would want it to. So, like for me, I got a date with some crows. Was like, you guys. The way I took it was, I had to do shit that was hard to like make things successful. Like you've got to put in time to promote yourself or to put the practice in, and that for me that's what it was. But I think it's cool that it worked both ways. Like it was just a line your brother said, you thought it was cool.
Can you ask me that question again, and I'll use your answer, because that works better for the song. Like I like that
a lot
more.
better,
It's,
yeah.
it's funny because we both really like that song and we like that lyric, and we both kind of pulled the same
That's
thing
dope.
from it. And I was like, maybe that's what they meant, but I don't know.
I mean, 2-1, I lose. So that's what the song's about, everyone.
That's
It's about-
awesome to hear other people's perspective, though.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I love about music is, I mean, someone else could hear it and like that lyric and take it a completely different route that still works. And I mean, they're connecting to you guys through that, even though that they don't know about your brother, obviously,
Right.
unless they watch this podcast.
Right. Now they will. And what's funny too is like the paycheck line is like monetarily speaking at the time, the rest of the band was very much so more successful than I was because I was a college kid, working at a bar.
We
or
were
even,
successful.
Even well, like
I
I
was
said,
super fucking
more
broke.
so than me. But anyway, dude, I was broke. More broke.
I don't know, man.
The brokest.
I was broke. I was dude. Anyway,
I was life broke, okay? I was mad.
Yeah, I was just money broke. But
I was just money broke.
actually, no, that was my semester off when we were working at Lindsay. So what's weird. But okay, here's where that came from. Was like I was literally working paycheck to paycheck, and I was like, dude, I'm just spending a lot of my money on things that we're doing with the band, for the band, around the band. Like if I had extra money, we were going out, hanging out, or if I had extra money, we were putting like $40 worth of gas every week just to go to Sullivan and practice. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, I can hear it through the album, and it might be coming in like subconsciously, but that's a theme that I found. I think it's very cool.
Well, thank you.
You have anything else?
I had somebody talk to me about Crows and 6 Feet Under. He was in the military, and he said it reminded him a lot of like his PTSD shit. Like the lyrics in both of those songs, like kind of dealing with your own shit,
I could see that in the chorus of 6 Feet Under.
which I never thought was a thing. But then I sat and like listened to the songs, and like this kind of makes sense.
The chorus of 6 Feet Under, I feel like could 100% be that.
Right? Yeah.
Definitely.
And like those are his two favorite songs, and like I never even gave that a second thought.
Damn.
And then he brought it up, and like Crows was a big one. I was like, fuck,
Dude,
that's brutal.
that's so deep. And
Right?
that's
Yeah,
awesome,
it almost
'cause,
makes me
like,
feel bad because like the lyrics I felt like weren't really like
Now it's emotional.
meant to be that deep, and then that I was like, damn.
Isn't
Dude.
that what music is though? Kind of like
Yeah.
everyone can make it.
Yeah, everybody pulls their own like experiences and ties it into their own shit, and
Dude, I wrote the chorus to 6 Feet Under. I was literally laying in my bed with my hands across my body like I was in a coffin. That's where the lyric, I lay in my bed like I would in a coffin, comes from. I'm not even making that up.
dude, you thought so hard on
Yeah,
it.
I literally just was like, that sounds
That's
cool,
deep, man.
so I wrote
You know,
it down.
that
I
was
wrote it
supposed
down
to
and
be-
I fell asleep.
That was supposed to be my hard fuck you, and you wrote about it laying in your bed.
Naked. It's like,
I feel like you should sit down and think about all the lyrics, and the next time someone asks you where that
I
came
am a
from,
box.
make something up.
yeah, now I know that
And
I'll be
I
asked
look like
these
a
questions.
fox.
Yeah.
These are your lyrics.
Dr. fucking Seuss. Oh, God.
This is what you do.
Yep, that's exactly.
Fuck you,
kidding me?
dude.
Of course I do this.
I thought you were working hard on this shit.
No, I write
You know how
stuff
long
that
it
sounds
takes
cool.
me to write a riff that doesn't suck? Fuck you.
We're still waiting for
I'm
it.
not laying down.
Like, yeah, you tell me how long it takes, man.
3 years. Plus some. Fuck off.
Oh, man.
You know what? I'm just bringing turds the rest of the time. No more 6 feet under. 4 feet above. Like,
That's cool.
just like Andrew's dick.
I have
6
kind
feet
of
under or 4 feet above? I'll take either, honestly.
I have kind of a weird question to ask you guys. I saw a home video the other day, and it was a home video of ours, and it was like an interview thing around New Year's, and it was asking what your favorite band was, and I think I was like 8 or 9 at the time, and I said Smash Mouth, and then like I just
That's a great
cringed so hard, and I was like,
If you're gonna ask me
God,
that
that's
question,
horrible.
that's
So
my answer.
this is the question I want to ask you. What's the band that you were either a fan of in your youth, or maybe now that's like your guilty pleasure, or somebody like you don't want people to know you're a fan of?
I got a lot of those.
Yeah.
Weird Al Yankovic.
Okay.
You're ashamed of that?
You like Weird
No,
Al?
I mean, that was like my guilty. Growing up, me and my
That's a
buddy
guilty
Ben
pleasure?
listened to that.
Dude, I
Oh,
love
shit.
the Weird Al.
all the
Dude,
time,
you let
man.
that freak flag fly, dude.
Dude. His like Jurassic Park album. So good.
This one, I'm not really that guilty. I'm not really like that.
Dude, every
Embarrassed,
band
but-
that you like is a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, Panic at the Disco, Fall Out Boy.
No, dude, I'm right there with you. Those are.
Yeah.
I just saw Panic in concert a couple weeks ago. It was
Dude,
really-
I've
And
seen
honestly,
Panic. They're good.
Caleb's got to have a good one.
You've got
Oh,
to.
shit,
I
I'm
know.
not saying
Okay, so
nothing.
You
Drew,
have
are you
to
gonna
say-
say? Are you gonna say Never Shout Never?
no. Well, those
No,
are
I will
dope.
not say
Fun,
that.
dude. When we fucking went to the lake and listened to Never Shout Never on the way there, that was dope. No, Nickelback, honestly. And, like, I'm not even, like, super embarrassed because not their first album. Their second one, I think it was called For All the Right Reasons or For All the...
Dude, their first album, their last album, everybody likes fucking Nickelback.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care.
If you tell me you hear Rockstar and you don't sing along...
Like, you fucking
like,
all
It's
you hear
everyone's
lying.
guilty pleasure. Is
You're
what
lying.
fuck Nickelback. Yeah, they come on the fucking radio and you're singing along. Like,
Yeah.
fuck you.
Yeah, true.
I like, Nickelback.
Except for Spencer, because he can't hear anymore because he's old.
I just don't like
He's
it.
he's 1,000. I guess, like, guilt. I don't really know if I have a guilty pleasure. I mean...
Hey, Caleb, what was the first concert you ever went to?
Oh, this is a good one. NSYNC.
Oh, there you go. I want to look at my Spotify.
Yeah, bye, bitch. It was good shit. Suck my dick. How's about it? It's neat. I got buttons with their
Yeah.
faces on them.
Lost all credibility. I was cool with what you said until you're like, I got buttons. It's like, yep, that's a pass.
Look, man, that's all I could afford, okay? I wanted something. T-shirts were expensive.
I got mine. Sugar Ray, like Mark McGrath.
Dude, I fucking love Sugar Ray.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Sugar
that's
Ray's
a
so
guilty
good.
pleasure. That band's fucking great.
The funny thing
Yeah,
is,
not
when,
everyone thinks
That
so.
dude kind of sucks, but
Yeah,
the
Mark-
band's cool.
Mark McGrath is terrible.
when you guys talk about your youth, and you're
Yeah,
like,
what were you
I
like?
liked Smash Mouth. I was like, shit, I was probably like in middle school.
Yeah, Spencer was 32. Oh, fuck. My guilty
Spencer's
pleasure.
like, we didn't listen to a lot of music in Vietnam, but I'm trying to think.
Back
I
in
really
the
liked Fortunate
records,
Son.
you know?
Yeah, records.
I don't know what my guilty pleasure would be.
Yeah.
Fuck, I liked all kinds of shit. I
I feel like I have
listened to Kesha a lot.
one. Ooh.
I like Katy Perry. She got nice titties.
Yeah. Kesha. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
She's like
Kesha.
trashy, but she's like the right amount.
303 maybe was.
Dude,
I
love
do
303.
like 303.
I still like 303. I hear "See You
I
Go"
like
and I'm like,
303,
she
yeah.
stopped me in the doorway. I'm like, dude, I know every lyric. I was 12.
I seen them at
I
Warp,
was
I seen
12.
them at Warp Tour. It was awesome.
Yeah, dude. Well, what's funny is they did like a really, really filthy song. Like they literally have a song about like vaginas. I'm pretty sure, and it's disgusting. But the whole crowd was just up in
Eating it
flames,
up.
dude. They were like, yes.
It was good.
No, they're dope. They're still dope.
I could spend a whole fucking podcast talking about
Yeah. How
guilty
much
pleasure
How much
bands.
time do you have? I like a lot of shitty music.
Like all
Mainly
kinds of
ours,
dumb
but-
shit. So there's a song by Macklemore. What the? How is it?
Yeah,
The rapper guy?
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rapper guy.
The rapper guy.
I don't know.
The rappist.
It's called "And We Danced," I believe.
You're the only one who
Can I write
ever
this down so I can listen to it?
Yeah, I don't. I'm
Yeah,
not
look
with
it
you.
up, dude. This shit is funny as fuck. I'll find it.
I mean, I can play it in like 3 seconds.
Yeah, find
Oh,
that shit.
here's-
I have to take a bathroom break.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
ahead.
do the thing.
Here's someone that I get a lot of shit for liking is Weezer.
I love Weezer.
I know. I get a lot of shit for liking
Weezer's
Weezer, though.
fucking turds.
When I was younger, I got a lot of shit for liking Flyleaf.
Unless we get the option to
Flyleaf
play with
is
Weezer.
dope.
Dude, Flyleaf is a jam.
Oh, and then like year 3000 era Jonas Brothers, all about it. When I listened to that, yeah, that and the song called Mandy. Mandy's my jam, and if anybody knows what that is,
Dude,
it's
I
fucking-
really like Justin Bieber.
I think I'm older than every
Oh,
Jonas brother.
there you go.
I love Justin
I think
Bieber.
I'm older than every Jonas brother.
That should go on a t-shirt. Fuck.
That's the
What's
song.
that other band? We listened to it at Chris's house. Chugaboom.
Chugaboom.
Dude, Chugaboom is the tits.
Chugaboom is
They
terrible.
make fun of every fucking like metal band ever.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
It's good.
I literally just found another one. Oh, My Chemical Romance. That's my guilty pleasure.
I never got into
Yeah,
them.
fuck that
Long-
band.
yeah.
It's
long-
funny, Drew, because all your guilty pleasures is like what I was
I
raised
know,
on.
like we literally grew
Bunch
up
of
to that shit.
quitters.
Yeah, I mean Gerard Way still does like pop music, and it's not bad. I like him a lot. Now he's just fucking writing comic books.
I got to grow up in the 90s, so I got a lot of good
Live.
Yeah, you don't really have any
Ooh.
guilty pleasures.
Pearl Jam and
Hey, fan
dude,
flu.
all that shit was awesome.
Yeah, all kinds of stupid shit. Just fun.
Shit, it was good.
And they just sang with only vowels in the 90s. They didn't know
That's
what,
it, man.
They didn't know what consonants were until 2001.
You didn't even have to learn the lyrics because
You didn't.
normally when
You
you just
didn't.
mumble, you were just saying what they were saying anyway.
Exactly.
I'm
And
gonna look through this.
they're all just like,
Yeah.
yeah, oh, mom.
I wanted to ask you guys, how do you feel about music like mumble rap? and it's like legitimacy is like actual music.
I fucking hate
People that just mumble lyrics and you can't understand anything they're saying.
I hate it.
So yeah, like mumble, like rap, and like the trap type. Yeah, I don't know, man. I guess there's a time and place because I was in a fraternity in college, and like at parties, like that shit would be played. And don't get me wrong, I wouldn't.
It works at a party.
Yeah. Well, the only people I drink to
Trap will
like
get the
rock
ass
music with is
moving.
like these guys. Like I literally, any time I drink, it's either I'm at a bar and they're playing fucking country because I live in Union, Missouri, or I was at a fraternity party and it was literally mumble rap, trap music, like house remixes of shit that I already didn't like, and the remixes were even worse. But I was like, whatever, everyone's wasted. It doesn't matter, you know. It's easy to party to, but I don't like it for like actual music.
I used to listen to rap a lot.
I like rap.
real rap.
Yeah, like
Yeah, that's back when.
90s, early 2000s rap.
Yeah, that's when Ice Cube was still like, you know, like
Like boom bap type
Tupac
shit,
and Biggie,
fucking
Yeah.
police and
Dre,
shit.
like West Side. Yeah.
But like,
NWA.
you just see that
Black people with attitude.
the like evolution of it.
Black
It's almost
people
like
with
we're-
good intentions.
One person came out with something new. It was like, oh shit! Like no one else has done that. Let everyone do that one thing. I always feel like that's kind of how. Well, everything's like that, but rap's like that a lot. Like once someone comes out hot, like, oh, this trap is awesome. Let's everyone do trap. And like, oh, listen to how this guy's rapping. Let's everyone do that. Like rock and pop, like all the rock bands turn into pop bands now. Like everyone kind of does that, but I feel like rap does that big time. Like once one thing hits hard, everyone's like, let's do that.
Like they're all trying to be a little bit mainstream.
Yeah,
But then it
like-
all blows the fuck up.
Well, then just something new happens, and
Yeah.
everyone kind of changes their sound, and the people that can't do it good fade out, and you just get new people.
What I think is funny now, like with like the rock genres, is all the bands that I listened to in high school that were just like metal as fuck, are just like Avenged Sevenfold now.
Bring me the horizon.
That's what I'm talking about.
Pop
Like,
rock.
like what they've done is like, dude, back in the day they were just fucking screaming and ignorant and had the dumbest fucking lyrics, and
And
now
they got really fucking good,
now they're poppy as fuck.
and now they're just
Or like
poppy.
like Devil Wears Prada, like they're literally like a pop rock band now.
I
It's
have-
very. Oh, you should listen, dude. You would be
be.
well probably disappointed, but it's cool. It's a cool change.
My thing is like it's cool to see them evolve, but you can't expect people to be like, fuck yeah. When you started listening to them when they're a metal band, you listen to metal. Like, why don't you have a new album? Well, that's not what I fucking listen to.
Right, and my favorite thing is too, like when people that are really into them now, and you're like, dude, listen to this album.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck is that?
Go to the first album when you can't understand a fucking thing.
Not a word.
Or like that, and then on the other side of things too, like bands like
Fall Out
Boy.
Boy.
yes, so bands like Fall Out. So like they came out with Mania, and like I don't like it.
I haven't
don't.
even listened. Like I haven't even given it a full listen because they
Like-
turned me off so bad.
American Beauty was pretty much where I stopped liking it. I really only liked like half of that album, but like
4th of July.
yeah, dude, that
the
album is like that's like their peak, and before that they were like Boy Next Door, like pop
Is that
punk,
a thing?
like punk
Boy
rock.
Next Door, is that a real thing?
Yeah. Well, they're the very like the
the-
where is
yeah,
your boy
Fall Out Boy
tonight?
Next
Yeah,
Door.
fucking very like Fall Out Boy Next Door. I like that. But no, like the same thing. There are people who like my sister is in high school about to go to college, and she has like friends that are 15, 16, and they're like, have you heard Fall Out Boy? Like, well, yes, I fucking heard
sure
of Fall Out
haven't.
Boy. Yeah, tell me about them. They're like, oh,
Not
their,
even once.
their album Mania, it's awesome. And I was like, listen to this, and they're like,
Who's that?
This
What-
sucks.
like, what music is that? It's like, that's a guitar. It's like,
Yeah.
those are drums. Like that's what a band is.
Who's
I'm-
this?
but-
Who's this Pete Wentz they talk
Yeah,
about like,
exactly.
with the little eyebrow flip? Like,
Yeah, and he's
the
got.
fuck is that?
Why is he wearing makeup?
Why are they all so sad?
What's wild?
Why does that guy have antlers? What the fuck is that?
That was one of the coolest music videos still
was
to
cool.
date.
My favorite thing was I got to see that at the Panic concert. Like one of the something new from Pray for the Wicked would
Yeah.
like play, and like you'll see these like 12, 15-year-olds like yeah, and then like they'll do like
Sins or something.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
see, I Write Sins like that's like a one on the
I
first
guess
albums.
everyone knows
yeah,
that,
but they'll like they threw on Casual Affair, and everyone around me was just like silent. I'm like hell yeah,
Which is funny because that's like 4 years old. That's like
And
not even
it's-
that old.
Yeah, it's
like,
really not. But
Oh shit! I guess it's like 6 now. Holy shit!
You know,
It
that
was-
song is
it was great to
absolute
see.
fucking garbage.
What?
9 in the fucking afternoon.
dude, I'm gonna have to.
Disagree.
Yeah, like,
That's
Yeah.
totally fine.
Pump the brakes, pal.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
can
only
disagree
song I
all
know
you
what you
want,
guys
but
are
that
talking
shit
about.
is garbage.
I
It doesn't even make sense. I know he did that shit on purpose, but it's dumb as fuck.
well
9 in the afternoon. That shit doesn't exist.
so Cassie doesn't like Pretty Odd at all, and that's one of my favorite Panic albums. is
Corinne has
Pretty
a
Odd.
pretty odd tattoo.
Dude, I want a Pretty Odd tattoo really badly.
Yeah.
Well, and it's just so weird because at the time, and we're not even talking about our fucking band anymore, but at the time they were just we're doing a different thing, and Brendan just kind of went with it, and then after that, that's why they got so different. But
Yeah.
So I thought you were gonna say that Cassie was totally backing you up and liking a shit album.
no,
And then when
she
you said that she wasn't,
doesn't like that album.
I
at
was
all.
much more happy about
Yeah,
it.
she trashes me when I try to talk about it.
Good.
If it wasn't
No,
on the
not
radio,
good.
I think very highly of her, and I
never
thought you were about to
heard
fuck that up,
Panic
but you didn't. So it's good.
Corinne and I were talking about that though, so artists are changing to kind of keep up with what's mainstream.
Yeah.
And as musicians, they're kind of exploring themselves. John Bellion's one of my favorite artists, and he talks about that directly. He's he made a lot of pop melodies when he first started making music, and now he's kind of getting really heavy into rap and stuff like that. And he's my original artists, I just think, or my original fans, I just don't consider them real fans if they're not able to grow with me.
Right.
You're a fan of pop melodies if you like my earlier stuff, but you don't like me now. And Corinne and I were talking about just growing and following artists. And Fall Out Boy, I finally lost them with Mania, like you were saying. 21 Pilots, I love their original stuff, but I can't stand the new.
Can't do it now. And dude, it's not even I don't. It's more that I find that I can appreciate an artist over time, but whether or not I actually like the music they put out as they evolve. It's dude, you're staying relevant. That's what Fall Out Boy's doing. That's what 21 Pilots is. Well, I don't know what they are, but
See, but I think that they lose
attempting
track
to.
of their sound and they focus too much on staying relevant. That's why when you play old Fall Out Boy, people are like, "Who's this?"
Yeah.
Or we know what's going on here. It's because they don't sound like Fall Out Boy anymore. It's not just that their styles and that what's mainstream has
Right.
changed. They've lost their Fall Out Boy essence, in my opinion.
yeah.
I think too, I hate when bands completely change their sound and then get pissed when people don't
Fall
follow
into
the
it.
same fans. Why don't you like us anymore? It's well, we liked you like this, and even the albums, maybe in the transition to where you're getting, were good, but now you're not the same band. So if you don't let's go back to Bring Me the Horizon. If you don't like pop kind of techno-y dance music is kind of what they are now with a little rock feel, but you listen to their first album and you listen
Pray for Plagues.
and you listen to metal, you're not gonna like the new album. So they can't really get pissed that oh, why aren't all these metalheads out here doing a circle pit when we play Mantra? Well, that one's kind of heavy, but when we play Medicine or whatever
Yeah,
the other song
right.
is, they just get. I think it's weird. You got to understand as an artist, you have fans that like you for the music you play, and if you completely change that, you can't expect them to just be like,
Hop
"Oh,
on
well,
board, yeah.
I don't
I
like
can-
this anymore."
I can kind of relate that back to REP too, because we recorded that over. Cruising Until the End. We actually redid those because my vocals were just not up to par.
They
whenever
were
I actually,
super good.
they started for what they were in the beginning. They were wow, we're coming out swinging, and we all thought that. But as I
got
started
better.
to grow as a vocalist, we ended up recording them. But we recorded that EP over collective closer to 2 years, and ended up just when we got Kevin, we just we've been sitting these songs for so long, fuck it, let's just put it out. But Cruising Until the End are very similar. We recorded in twos, I don't know why, but Cruising Until the End are very similar. For the Night and Change are pretty similar, and then 6 Feet Under and FYE in just the way
Wildly different.
yeah, well they are. It's just you can tell the progression, and I kind of like that because now that we're working on more of a collective sound and we're working on new music collectively, not just in pieces. It definitely shows, and I like that.
I feel like each time we went in the studio, we felt better about the product
Well,
Yep.
I think
every time.
when we first went in, Andrew never really
He'd never been in a
recorded
booth. He
in a
didn't
booth,
know. Yeah.
so
Did it for theater in
you could
college, but
you could feel it though that you were nervous.
I literally brought my notebook with me.
Yeah, but then,
It's literally reading from a book.
Well, the next
I don't know the words that I wrote.
exactly.
the next time we went, it was a little bit better, and then by the time we went the last time, we already played. We didn't play a show yet, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we played.
We played
and
a
you
few
could-
shows.
and you could tell that you were so much better.
Yeah.
And we got that back. We were like, you have to go redo the first ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was just weird listening to the album before anybody else did, because it was like, you could tell the difference between the first two songs, between like Crows and Until the End,
Yeah.
and 6 Feet Under. Everything sounded completely different, like much more mature almost.
Yeah, there was definitely some noticeable progression, and at the time it was like, dude, I just want this EP to be out. Like they sound close enough, but I think Spencer mainly, but the whole band was like really hit on the head. Like, dude, like why were we gonna? We've worked on this for 2 years. Why do you just want to put it out when it's not as good as it could be?
Polish
you know?
is,
Yeah.
Yeah. It can be better, so make it better.
Yeah, which is normally how I am. So it's kind of cool that they like kind of. I don't know. I was just eager to put it out.
And it wasn't like an attack on his ability at
No.
all. It was just like, we noticed over time he was getting better, and we were sitting on the shit that nobody had even like really heard. Like, well, why release that when he can make it better? Right. And we know he can.
And the rest of the world wouldn't be so damn nice about it. So that's probably the biggest part.
And I feel like, which this isn't like, I don't want to feel like an attack on anybody's ability in the studio or anything, but like when we play live, I feel like Andrew really opens up live.
I would
Like
agree.
he really gets it when we're playing in front of people, and it's an energy thing, like he pushes his vocals more in front of people. We're in a booth, you're by yourself, you're in a room, and it's
feels
awkward.
weird.
Yeah, it feels weird.
I was gonna ask you guys, like, how much control do you have as far as mixing? As far as, I want this to be louder, I want this to be quieter, I want to tune this here, I want to leave this like that. How much input do you have in the studio?
We don't fuck with any of the volumes on anything. Like when we get it back in a mix or whatever. So we go into the studio and we have pretty much total control over everything.
Creative control.
But Matt Amelung, who does all of our recording, who is a fucking wizard.
It's just amazing.
Like, he's nothing but suggestions and open arms. Like, we go in, here's a song, we play through it. Like, I do a scratch guitar track. He doesn't really get to hear the rest of it unless we do a pre-production to offer up. But, he listens to that, and then he's suggestions the whole way. And he doesn't ever force anything. He's just like, this is what I think sounds the best, which we typically tend to go with because he knows what the fuck he's doing and we don't. So, yeah, like we'll write a song and we'll have a song. We'll sit on it for however long until we go to record. And then we give it to him and we go through the steps and he directs us along the way. But he gives us total freedom to do whatever. Like if he suggests something and we don't like it, he won't do it.
Gotcha.
And two, any little subtle things like in the album, there's a 1,000 things that you don't really know are there until you know they're there, kind of.
Yeah.
Like little noises.
We've got a Doorsy like synth thing in FYE that none of us knew were fucking there.
Yeah, so
Like we just heard the backtrack the other day.
he'll
and,
add things like that just
Add to
it
the
just
song.
fills in almost noise, like open
Empty
spots.
space.
Yeah. And but he's so good at what he does, we just give him like, yeah. If you think that,
Right.
if you think that's gonna sound awesome when you're mixing or mastering, like if you hear anything, like feel
go for
free.
it.
'Cause
Like
he's-
tell us what you're doing.
Yeah.
But like he
And then-
99.9% of the time he's right on.
I'm
Yeah.
assuming like before the final cut, he'll like, this is what I think we're gonna go with.
Yeah,
yeah.
Let's all listen
we
to
get
it.
a few
We get-
versions
We
of
get
every song.
pre-production, we get post-production, we get final mixes, and then we get like masters, and like he does a shitload of work on them. And it's crazy, like something that. Thanks, I always forget to set up.
I love when he goes in for the assist. It's just-
You're recording in the other room.
So yeah, what's cool? So like Spencer was saying, just for an example, like 6 Feet Under, the chorus, like I didn't record 2 vocal parts for that. I recorded the 1 vocal, and then Matt did a lot of like mastering and like pitch correcting to the actual like vocal track itself, and then just changed the notes of it to be in a harmony with the melody. And like I didn't know he was doing that. We got 6 Feet Under back, and I was like blown away. I was like, did I sing that? I was like, wait, no, I didn't. I literally recorded that once. Like he does some cool
I feel like
stuff.
every song we do, you'll do a section, and it's just like do it again, and do it again.
Yep, he
And
likes
do it
to
again.
layer his shit.
And like that was really good, but do it again. And then like we don't really hear the outcome of that. But what he does, he takes that shit and then like puts it in the background, and then he just like he adds it to every song. So
Just sounds more full.
yeah, like I'll go in and I'll record 2 guitar tracks, which are obviously in there, because it fills the whole thing out. But like he'll put in fucking 40 vocal tracks, and like you
In, like,
don't
a
even,
verse, not even a full
and you
song.
don't even realize they're there. Like it's all just background shit.
Or a tambourine or something crazy.
Yeah, or like a shaker, like just little stuff that you wouldn't, that you hear on in music on the radio or in records that you like, but you don't even like know how they actually get
Like
put
you
in.
take it out and you know it's missing, but
Yeah.
like you put it in,
You
you
hear
don't
it
know
and
it's
you don't
there.
know.
So how do you feel like
It's a
that
lot like
affects you
Spencer.
guys when you play live? Do you feel like you're trying to recreate that perfect kind of sound, and it's like you can't, or do you not?
I think for me, anyway, vocally speaking, live, I actually have more creative control with that than I do in the studio. It's like now I can literally make it different every time. Like I listen to a lot of live music because I like listening to bands live a lot. So just for a guilty pleasure example, Panic, I listened to a lot of his shit live from 10 years ago, from last week, like, and everything in between. And I hear the way that he tweaks it, and people.
First of all, let's put the Panic thing to rest. Brendan Urie is a phenomenal musician.
Oh, dude, yeah.
He can play a ridiculous amount of instruments. His vocal range is stupid.
Dude, he's so good.
Dude, he has that Frank Sinatra tattoo on his arm, and I, like, when I started singing, he was the reason I started singing, and I literally want to do the same thing, but with his face, which now sounds, as I say it out loud, it's more stalker, like, gay area, but either way, like, I'm probably still going to do it.
Are you going to put his head down by your hands?
Yeah, just so when I jerk off.
So he's there, dude.
That way, I got to make sure his mouth is in the... Anyway, but no, so, like, I like the idea that live I can, like, I know how the song goes on record, and I'm like, all right, what ways can I play with this to get the crowd more involved? What ways can I play with this to get people more excited? And, like, maybe they hear something like, oh, that's not the song that I hear on Spotify. He's doing something different. That's really cool. Like, I hope he does that again. Or, like, just, like, dumb stuff like that I think is dumb, but I just get to have fun with it, I don't know about you guys.
Well, too, the stuff that he adds on the album, like, you can hear it when you're listening to the EP, but it's like just super subtle stuff. So when we're playing it live,
It's like a different atmosphere, different.
yeah, you can't really tell that it's not there when you play live. But if you were listening to the CD, like you listened to it, and then we took it out and you listen to it again, you would notice. But if we never pointed out, like, oh, right here in the background there's like a harp noise, or right here in the background there's a
There's
tambourine,
this tambourine
you would
going,
never
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
You know.
I love seeing bands that are like kind of lighter on record, and then when they play a show, they're like heavier, their music hits harder, whatever. I really like that, and I kind of feel like we do that, and I think
100%.
that's
we do
dope.
that.
Yeah.
Like we're still, I think we still have like pretty like a kind of a heavier tone to our shit, but live, like, dude, I just like we pack a punch. I think it's cool.
That's what's nice. Like, we all come from different music backgrounds, so all the songs have like a metal feel. Even the pop punkier songs still have chugs and more metal. Like, that's where
That's my
Caleb
bad.
part.
Yeah.
But then, like, if it's more
Galloping on the guitar.
rock sounding, that's kind of like Greg's background. So he kind of adds his thing, and then
Yeah, all the solos are Greg.
the pop punky stuff is kind of just a mix of everyone, because that's where we were kind of heading before. So it was like, let's go for that, but everyone kind of threw in their own little piece.
Yeah.
So none of them. That's why nothing sounds the same, but it's not the same.
I think that's what makes you guys stand out, though, because like if you've got a group of guys who come from pop punk backgrounds, like we want to do a pop punk band, they don't stand out. Whereas that's your guys' thing, is you've got all these, like you're saying, you've got all these different backgrounds, and you kind of bring them together. It's cool.
Yeah, and I feel like everyone's trying to emulate a little bit of their inspiration, if not a lot of it, on stage, like individually and as a group. Like on stage, like I'm like thinking of all the lead singers I like Tillian Pearson from Dance Gavin Dance, or Bradley Walden, Johnny Craig.
Or that dude from Fall Out Boy.
Yeah, I was naming those three to avoid saying Fall Out Boy or Panic, but yes, Patrick
But Brendan
Stump
Urie,
and Brendan
dude, he's
Urie
so
too.
good.
Fuck you guys. But yeah, those guys too. But like I like see how they perform on stage, and I'm like taking little pieces, and I'm trying to like emulate that and also make it original. And I can kind of see that Greg does that too. He's very much like a classic type of like rocker, and he's literally like a rock and roll type dude. I can see you doing that too, because like I'm I still listen to your Breakdances EP. Honestly, that's a dope EP. But like,
Yeah,
I
dude,
remember
it gets me off at night.
I remember watching
You're
videos
welcome.
Thank you.
of you doing the breakdances stuff, and I see a lot of like that style of music on stage whenever we play, and I think that's cool.
Man, I'm
It's
just a tall, chubby, not drunk,
Sex
but move
machine.
around like I'm a drunk idiot up there.
cut off denim shorts and flannels.
Yeah.
Dude, I got into the local scene watching Spencer play. So, like, being in a band with Spencer is super fucking cool for me. And, like, playing with Clark was super fucking cool for me just because, like, I wasn't a local band yet at the time. So, like, he can talk all the shit he wants to on himself and his stupid haircut and his short shorts, whatever. But, like, he's a cool motherfucker. So, like, getting to be in a band with him is super cool for
Do
me.
you want me to move so you guys can kiss? Or like, what? So I can just lean back and you guys can
We might have to.
I
bro.
feel like it, man.
Damn.
Spencer's blushing. Oh my god.
He's feeling cute.
He's red.
That was amazing.
You're welcome.
Oh my god.
I know we don't talk about it. I don't share my feelings often.
Yeah, that was
but
good.
it's a thing. Like,
You're a sweetheart. Who knew?
but then we got Andrew, and I feel like he feels the same about me, so it's fine.
Honestly, yeah, a little. No, seriously, I do though, because like, so when I was 15, we did that Battle of the Bands, and I did a rap
And
song.
we kicked your ass.
You did? Well, I did a fucking like shitty
Because
rap
you
song.
rap and you suck.
It was terrible. I did a rap song with another unnamed person, and it was really, really bad. And then he did his metal.
His name was
show.
Brian.
Yes, Brian again. But like, it was just kind of cool. Like, I knew Caleb. Caleb was a friend of my brother's at the time, and like I knew him through him. And I was like, this guy plays music. Like, I think it'd be fucking cool to be in a metal band. And I started getting into like metalcore, and like, then when I was like 16, we like kind of half talked about me being in that band, and then writing music together. And it kind of like worked for like a minute, and then it didn't work out at all. And then fast forward to where we are now, and it was just kind of cool to.
It still doesn't work.
Yeah, we're still fucking trying to figure it out, but it's fun.
Right on. Did you hit everything?
I don't think we answered any questions.
No.
So we literally didn't answer a question you asked.
So now this is the time. Plug the shit out of upcoming events.
Yeah,
Pointfest counts.
Saturday, March 16th.
Stone Cold Day.
Yeah. If you don't have any plans on St. Pat's, and even if you do, cancel them because this will be cooler. Come out to Pops and Sajay. Doors at 6:30. Tickets are $6. Check out our page on Facebook. We are Man The Helm on Facebook, Instagram. We're on Twitter too, but don't worry about that.
We don't do anything on
Yeah, Open
Twitter.
Discourse is on Twitter too, and it's just
Dude,
sitting there.
our Twitter
Nothing's
does nothing.
happening.
But yeah, come out to Pops on Saturday, March 16th. Doors
Are
at
those all the band names?
Yep, doors at 6:30. We'll be playing with The Sky's the Limit.
Asking Alexandria.
I almost read ours. The Sky's the Limit. Current
See
year. After Alberta, Inner Outlines, The Scatterguns, Solomon Crow, and
Your mama's ass. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah. And if you guys come out and we get a big crowd, we'll play Pointfest in May. So do it. Ticket to $6.
Right on. Can we expect anything new soon, or is it going to be a bit?
Do you mean like recording wise?
Just any. You kind of hinted at.
I
new
did
at the show.
on accident. So we're working on new music.
No, we're not.
Caleb, shut the fuck up.
We're gonna play a song that we played our first 2 shows.
We played it one
Our
show.
last 2 shows.
We only played one show. We played it one time.
We only played it once.
Yep.
Oh,
There's a video of it.
No, we did
well,
it
we've only
at.
played it once then.
No, we did it.
twice.
We didn't do it at the old Rock House.
We did the Firebird, and that's it.
You're right. We didn't.
Yep.
Why didn't we do it at the old Rock House?
Because we sucked at it.
No, because we had a shorter.
Oh,
We
we
had a
did
short
it.
thing,
We had
yeah.
like 20. Yeah.
So we played it our first show. We haven't played it for a while, so we're gonna.
Bring it back.
Yeah, it's called Brian. It's a good song.
Dude, Brian's everywhere right now.
Written
watching
by
it.
Brian.
Like, freaking out. All right, well, thanks for coming out, guys, and talking about yourselves, getting some insight on Man the Helm.
Sorry that we
Yeah.
didn't answer any of your
Yeah.
questions.
Thanks for having us talk about
I
ourselves.
just jerked off fucking Spencer for like 10 minutes.
Talk about Fall Out Boy, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I
seriously talked about other bands more than our own band, which I'm more than cool with. But
I like Ninja Turtles. That's not a band. That's cool, right?
yeah, do you guys want to talk about like Power Rangers or like
No, fuck that.
We can talk
That
about
just sucks.
fucking anything? You say Power Rangers sucks?
The
I
new
was,
one,
I was never into Power Rangers.
I
Dude,
don't
we've
know.
been on everything.
Actually,
Me and you, we've agreed
You know-
on everything so far except for that.
I just lied. The new Power Rangers is way cooler than the old Power Rangers.
Wait a minute.
Whoa,
Wait.
No,
the
you
Mighty
just
Morphin?
lied. You just
Hold
lied
on.
saying
Restart
that.
the podcast.
Yeah.
Except for the I Have a News one. That one
Yeah,
was
the Mighty
cool.
Morphin. Mighty Morphin.
Yeah, that one was good.
The
But all
Rangers
the
and
dino
Force were
shit
the
was
best.
dumb, and the
But
new
Turbo
one
was
cool.
tight.
Turbo was the second one. It was
Right.
okay, but then we started getting crazy.
Dude,
That's
as a
all I'm
kid, it
saying.
couldn't grab my attention. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm not there with you.
Oh, you gotta watch it. Ivan Ooze is the coolest villain in the world.
He's a turd.
He's literally like a pile of goop.
He is a pile of goop.
It's pretty cool. It's a really good movie.
Whistle sticks.
You lost me there.
Watch the
This is
movie,
what
you'll
we're taking
get
away
it.
from the end of this podcast. Power
No,
Rangers
we're
is
not. We're
bad.
making it
Yeah.
better.
Fuck our show. I'm gonna not even go. I'm gonna watch Power Rangers all night.
Watch Power Rangers.
But I appreciate you guys letting us be like just fucking filthy and disgusting.
Hey, fuck
on
Andrew.
here.
Bye.
Yeah. This is probably your like most vulgar podcast. Would you say or no?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
The
question.
the cussing quota is the top of the list.
Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed Man The Helm. Check out their music. Go to Pops. Go see them live, and we'll see you next week.
Over and over and over again, it never stops, it won't ever end. Over and over and over it goes, when will it stop? Nobody knows. Slower and slower, the slower we...
No. Let's do it. I'm all about it.
I hate these chairs.
You just scooted the chair back.
These chairs are too reclining.
Is that from IKEA?
Yeah,
I like those.
it is.
My buddy had one in college. He was very particular of who sat on it and who didn't.
To take 7.5 hours to.
Was his name Tom?
No, that was close.
Whoa, this is really high up. I haven't sat in your kitchen chairs yet.
Oh, is that a new table?
Also from IKEA.
Hey, nice.
Everything in here is. It's an IKEA magazine.